What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here in this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, well, we have the Riftwatcher pack burning proposal that has been passed. We don't know when that's going to get implemented, but I wanted to take a quick look at where the circulating or the print rate for the Riftwatcher legendary cards has been, because we know that the next upcoming legendaries are all going to be, next coming airdrops are all going to be legendary cards. So when we take a look at, the two recent airdrops here, Cane Haste and Ancient Redwood, there is a significant drop-off in the amount of BCX that has been printed. The rest of them are all near that 10,000 BCX range, whereas Ancient Redwood and Cane Haste are actually significantly lower. So what does that mean overall? Well, the reason I'm looking into this is because I have I don't even want to put it as like a bearish prediction, but I do wonder if the pack burning for Riftwatchers, which is supposed to go for a couple of months, but even still, I do wonder if it is going to be largely in the background due to the fact that land is going to take such a big part of this, right? And at the end of the day, a lot of people have a lot of cards. They're playing comfortably already. Riftwatchers doesn't necessarily seem to be the priority. Land is going to get a lot of attention. I do think Soulkeep could potentially get a lot of attention when that game launches, right? There's still packs available. Well, the packs are not available now, but you can go and buy that off the secondary market. So my whole point with this is, what if we go through and don't sell as many of the Riftwatcher packs as possible? What if we end up burning a significant amount of the remaining almost 2 million, right? Just because people are looking at other things, they're optimizing their land. It just becomes something that is more background, because even though people have known that we have, passed the proposal already that we're going to start the burning process, we haven't seen a massive rush in yet because everybody's waiting on land. And I don't think land is just going to be like a one and done thing. I think there's going to be optimization that lasts for a couple of weeks. It's not going to be like phase one where everybody just surveys and then we all get bored. There's going to be a lot of gamification that's done there, because it's like, well, how do we optimize for X, Y, and Z? And at the end of the day, with grain not being sellable in the beginning, a lot of people will probably be using DEC to buy grain if they need it. The big X factor that I keep talking about, Secret of Praetoria research tokens, if that ends up being something that's awesome, and maybe, there's benefits coming in later on this year, for example, right? After a month or two after the launch of land, people may start or opt to go for research tokens, which again, will need grain, will need DEC in order to get that grain. So there's going to be a whole aspect of land, and that's just land. That's not the rest of the game. That's not the card game. That's not Soulkeep, which we're hoping will come, hopefully shortly after land. So what if we get to this point where maybe the remaining airdrops are just not as high in their circulating supply? Well, we've seen Riftwatcher cards already hold their value rather well. And when you look at this, right, 5,000 BCX, granted, there's still quite a few packs to be opened, but ultimately, you look at something like Untamed, for example. Untamed, you can see here that a lot of these, the higher BCX printed ones were at about 6,000, right? 6,500. Other ones were about 5,000, 4,000, right? You go back to beta legendaries, and we're at about anywhere from 2,600 to like 3,700-ish. So obviously, Riftwatcher cards, it's all going to depend on the card too, right? The abilities, the stats that it has. But at the end of the day, it could have a circulating supply that is much more in line with the older cards rather than something like Chaos Legion. Because if we take a look at Chaos Legion, I just want you to see, we've had like 40,000, 42,000. Well, these are the ones that were overprinted, right? Lyra the Dark, Grumflame Blade. But the rest of them in the 30,000, mid 30,000s, all of them. Well, actually, no, some of the newer ones are dropping down into the 20,000s and even 18,000 for Lily Shieldpaw. But those are legendary summoners, and they're going to have their value no matter what. Either way, those are still 3 times, 4 times the amount of what we're seeing currently for Riftwatchers. So it's no surprise that Riftwatchers are holding their value so well. So again, I think that this is just something worth keeping an eye on. If we start to see more packs getting burned, the scarcer these cards become, but more importantly, the scarcer the future airdrop cards become, because you can see a clear pattern here that the newer the reward card, right? The newer the airdrop, more recent the airdrop, whether it was for Chaos Legion or with Riftwatchers, the less circulating supply, the less BCX that are printed. So, you know, again, a lot of these cards, people are going to look at them and say that they're very much a part of the meta. I don't know what the remaining cards hold, but I can imagine they're all going to be giants and have some crazy, abilities to them that make them incredibly important. So again, just something to keep in mind as we go forward, that the print rates of these could be very much in line with where we see older cards rather than the Chaos Legion core set. But that is all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll catch you in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.